This is the Neo Show, where the minds shaping tomorrow speak today. Brought to you by Neo, the browser redefining what AI can do for you. Tell someone who maybe doesn't know what you're doing, why should they listen right now?
Well, yeah, so I'm actually just sharing all of my experience as a founder, right, who has been through an interesting transition or transformation from the SaaS era into the AI time. So yes, right.
That's why the whole point we invited Zheng in the first place. Zheng is a good friend for many, many years. Before he started the company, before I started my own company many years ago, so we went through a lot of the journey together. Yeah. So before we start everything, so AI era, so you have used the AI browser
Yes,
called
right.
Neo.
Yes.
What is your impression?
Oh yeah, I love it. So Neo browser. So I've been doing cybersecurity for like 25 years. Security is in my blood. So the moment Howie told me that there's a AI browser that take privacy and security as the first priority, I was like, sign me up, right? I'm one of the first beta customers out there, and I truly love this product. It is fast, it is accurate, and it is also giving me sense of security, and also store all of my chat data local, give me options of running everything local or cloud or hybrid. So
That
I love
gives
it.
you the peace of mind.
Exactly, right, yeah. Highly recommend it to anyone, yes, right.
So that's AI browser. There are so many other AI products. You're also building some products that's sort of related to AI, or how to describe what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so we actually started 3.5 years ago. The company's name is Kaamel, and as I'm addressing all the way, and Kaamel, we started to solve one pain point, which is at that time, being privacy compliance is so difficult for anybody, for big companies, and also for their privacy to be protected as a consumer, also very painful, right? So we try to solve that problem. We created a SaaS platform that can quickly evaluate the privacy posture of a particular product, whether it's a web application or a mobile application. But quickly, people came to me and say, hey, Zheng, this is not enough, right? So privacy is only part of it. We want compliance, we want security, we want social responsibilities, and all together, right? And then AI comes. ChatGPT 3 got released, and then now my company has evolved into a full, all-inclusive, compliance services, which is AI first. So, in a nutshell, right, we are an AI first compliance services company now.
So AI first, can you tell us what do you mean by that? For instance, right, you kind of the technology, the technique you are using AI first, or
Right.
the company's organization is AI first. What does AI first mean to you?
Yes, a lot of people claim AI, right?
Everyone.
Everyone, yeah. So who's not, right? So we actually been through this very interesting journey, I would say. At the very beginning, we adopt AI tools internally, right? And then we completely rewritten our product backend with AI, and then it become a agentic AI product. But eventually, what we discovered is that our customers don't really just want a tool. They actually want a end-to-end service when it comes to compliance or security or privacy. So that's basically how we are evolving. And right now, what we are doing here is that we are not only basically internally leveraging AI to improve our productivity, completely like changed the way our organization functions. We actually made some major changes to our team, which is actually quite, I would say, surprising to some of the team members. and totally different from our past practice, I would say.
Okay, so let's just unpack this, right? You are saying that you started using AI tool from the beginning
Right.
of the company, but then you realized that just using AI tool alone is not AI first, or it's not AI first enough, right?
Yeah, there are more things can be done.
More things
yeah.
can be done, right?
Right.
The process, organization. And then you mentioned that you are organizing the company differently. So tell us, what does that mean?
You mean each of the steps, or just pick example?
Start with one example.
Okay, so I guess let's actually start a technical example, right? So our product from the very beginning, we are trying to use virtual execution technology to evaluate a particular application for privacy and security problems.
Meaning running an application in the sandbox.
Yeah, in a sandbox, right? So, but if I run a mobile app in a sandbox, the biggest challenge is how to recognize all of the buttons, all of the basically things to click.
Right.
And also if this application requires login, requires credential, how do you actually trigger all of the workflows after that, right? Yeah, interactions after that. So at the very beginning, we were just doing this manually, but then with AI, we can now just kind of describe a particular thing, hey, so I'll just use TikTok as an example. So basically, if we are evaluating a TikTok application, we can use AI to basically tell the sandbox controller, basically just go ahead and look for a particular button named whatever.
Is that the computer use kind of things, or what is that?
So it's actually just we created a internal toolkit that can take a prompt and then basically change the behavior of a sandbox, virtually just clicking on whatever I want them to do, right? But basically, I don't have to move them to a particular pixel or particular position of the screen. I just say, hey, go find the blue login button, right? And then,
so concept-wise, it's similar
like
to computer use from Anthropic. You
Yeah.
can just go to a desktop,
Right.
open up the applications, click the button.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's a
just
mobile application.
It's
a mobile
fully
application.
automated, right?
Right.
Fully automated
Got
in
it.
a sandbox, right?
So it's essentially using AI technology to do the, to do testing or to...
Yes, right. That is the main differentiator, right? So because most of the mobile applications, right, without certain critical steps, it will never fully reveal all of its data collecting behaviors, right? So using this technology, we can easily discover a lot of hidden problems or potential violations, so that our basically clients can improve, right? So we are actually serving a lot of the household brands right now due to this cutting edge technology. Nobody else can do. And on the other side, on the organization side, right? So I don't know if you guys have been hearing. I think the CEO of Airbnb, Brian Chesky, once mentioned that he's also making some changes to the product organization, right? So what we discovered here is actually recently we reworked our team and completely removed the product function as well. But probably because of different reasons, right? It's mainly because of the power of AI now. So I'll just give you one example or one previous pain points, which is traditionally for any enterprise software company to work, one of the most critical positions is actually the product managers, right? They talk to potential customers or customers, collect, let's say, 1,000 feedbacks or feature requests, right? And they prioritize. And then they come to the engineer and basically deliver, hey, a let's say PRD, product description document, requirement document that actually tells them what to do.
This is you and I spent almost 30
exactly,
years.
Right? So I've been fortunate enough to work with many super talented product managers, right? But just maybe when when you have a not so capable product manager in your team, that is actually a disaster because that is the only position that can bridge your customers and your engineering. Right?
In my last 20-some years of the running various organization, I always view PM is basically the general manager. When you stitch a product together, right? Externally, internally, not just writing the PRD, but also almost like a general manager.
Right. Yes. Right. So one of the things we observed that it is extremely difficult for a product manager to actually design a product when there's no customers. Right.
Yep.
So because he's just imagining a lot of the workflows and how the people could have used this product and tell the engineer to do, and with AI things are different now, right? So basically he can actually just create a workflow mockup through Lovable or Manus. I mean so I'm not here to do ads for them, but basically any of these tools, right, to quickly create a workflow. And then show it to the basically how to say the prospects, right? And then without waiting for engineers to actually give them a mock-up system, now the product manager role can actually do this, right? So, but we took this actually one step further. We actually want our frontline people like the sales engineers or the customer services people to be able to create this type of prototypes, and then directly talk to the customer. The customer is saying, hey, we're using your product, and here's a problem, right? And what is the best way to fix it? Do I have to pull my product manager to talk to you? No, right? So the support guy or the sales engineer guy can just create a system and then let them co-develop this prototype, because it's not like they can just use Manus to say, hey, create a system for them. They can invite the prospect or the customer into this session, and they can also use just plain English to tell the system to evolve. With 3-4 iterations, the system will be ready. Like, this is exactly how we're gonna use this feature. If you can deliver this feature in your product, that'd be great. So that, as you can see, right, is much more efficient than calling in a team of different roles, talking to this customer, and expecting them just you can never expect our customers to be able to say to be able to outline all of the requirements in one meeting. Nobody can. Probably at the very beginning they didn't know what exactly they want. Right.
So basically, you sort of reduce the layers, the communications,
yes,
right? You collapse the functions horizontally.
Yeah.
There used to be salesperson, sales engineer, then product manager, and then engineer. Now you're kind of collapsing between product manager, sales engineer, and then even salesperson, like those three into one role.
Yes, right. So basically, the product manager now, you can think of them as also the services people. Right. They can also do some forward deployment engineering job. So that's a 3-in-1. So I'm not removing the PM role. I'm actually creating a mega PM role, but with forward deployment engineering and customer facing engagement all together. Yes. Right.
Or depending how you think about it, or how you kind of define it, you can say this is a mega PM role, or this is the mega, forward deployed engineer role, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You kind of collapsing that functions.
Right. Whatever title they prefer, they
whatever
can just,
title they prefer,
yes,
right? But the key is, the old school of having different layers doesn't work for you. Let me. By the way, I love it, but just to play devil's advocate, right? The mentality people need to have for product manager and then sales or sales engineer is a little bit different, right? One is customer relationship, right? Understand. The other one is you need to have a ability to work with engineers, right? Maybe less technical, more technical. How do you, during this collapsing, you don't run into challenge, or how do you think
I do
about it?
actually. So I have an engineer refuse to talk to the customers.
Okay.
He's like, just leave me alone. Okay, so I have my own schedule. I don't even want a meeting, right? So they, for people like that, we have a applied AI researcher role for them. They are the backbones of all of the platform systems, right? So that's one. And also, if you look at different people, they also have their skills, like or their range of customer engagement. For example, for sales engineers, the majority of the challenges questions or requests from the customers are actually integrations. Right, so here's a good system, but that's not how we are using. The number one challenge we've been hearing from our prospect or customers are like, I like your tool, but I don't want to use your tool. I have my own workflow. I just want you to give me APIs so I can integrate into my workflow. That's actually one of the challenges in the MIT AI research report, right? So, one of the hurdles of why AI is not widely adopted.
Because people have existing workflow.
Right. So, I was talking to a international, big company, right? So they are using this, they're not. So we have a Slack integration, but they're not using Slack. They use a tool called Feishu. It's a Chinese version of Lark, right? Which is very popular in, and they're like, we do everything on Feishu. So can you actually create integration? So that's actually most of the ICs got requests like that.
So I love it, right? But on the other hand, again, play devil's advocate.
Right.
In the past, right, this is not new notion, like a one person taking multiple hats, because you've been through startups, I've been through startup.
Right.
As a startup, you started with the CEO wearing every hat, and then you gradually say, in order for me to scale, I need a dedicated PM. In order for me to scale, I need a dedicated SE, right? It's not like we invented this role for nothing, right?
Right, yeah.
Now you are saying that, look, even when I scale the company, I don't need to have different roles. How to think about it, right? Because before we wanted to have different roles because we want to scale.
Right.
You don't feel like the scaling is in the way for you to have a more mega combined collapsed role?
Yeah, so actually that is a great question, right? So and by the way, so basically when our company evolved from a pure SaaS company into a AI first compliance services company, which is covering end to end, right? So our slogan is actually, hey, so there's human touch in what we deliver to you. So it is so we make sure there's no error, there's no hallucination of the AI problems, right? Because it's human, helped, right? So scalability is always a challenge, from the beginning, right? But what I see here is that so the more we practice, we figure that a lot of the different AI tools or AI tech stacks can actually help us to basically scale. And also to your question specifically, right? So I think eventually the organization is going to be something like there will be a centralized applied AI researcher or backend engineering organization, right? So let's say if my company grows into, so I used to run a team of more than 1,000 people, right? So basically this role can grow into a major engineering function. And also there could be a product manager to actually work with them closely. And this product manager, when it's getting bigger, right, will actually get feedbacks or intakes from all of these forward deployment engineers or the mega product managers, right? So the key here actually is that the product manager now can actually just invite the customer together into the implementation of a workflow prototype, right? And when the product manager come back to the engineering organization, he knows for sure this will work and all of the interactions will actually work for that customer. This is actually a big step forward. Removed a lot of back and forth, I would say.
This is my next question. So you did a pretty big changes culturally, right? Organizationally.
Right.
What is the result? Can you tell us the concrete benefits you are getting, concrete result you are getting? Because we can talk about this all day long.
Yes, right.
But what is the result? Like,
Yeah.
what's the real difference you have seen already? Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, everybody thought this is the right thing to do. From the front end, engineer to back end engineer, from our product manager to services people, especially the customer facing people, they really love this, right? And they probably are not AI experts, but we have the forward deployment engineer role that can help them to basically, hey, so you don't know how to use Lovable to create an application. No problem. I will just set one up for you, right? And with these enablers, everybody feel like they are closer to the customer. They are closer to the feedbacks from the customers, right? At the end of the day, everybody knows that startup is hard, right? So the only thing that cheer you up all the day, as the founding team, it's not getting money from VCs or getting recognized in any of the award. Is the smile on the face of the customers, right? So I guess that's basically the closer to customers, the happier of any of the team members.
Are you saying that you've got more smiles from the customers
as well? Yes.
How do you measure that?
Because so they're like, hey, I can have a meeting with you, but I don't really know exactly what I'm asking about this feature. So that I can just tell you, why that doesn't work, right? But I cannot describe to you a full workflow, right? Don't give me this survey, and why can't you just figure it out? Previously, right? Now it's like, oh yeah, so I can join, and basically here's a system I can play with, and then I can just tell the system, okay, so add another button, add another integration, and then after 3-4 iterations, the customer is like, this is the one.
Interesting.
Right? So within 2 hours, our product manager can basically come back and say, hey, let's get this system right into our backend.
So you are seeing that sort of the work or the benefits on a regular basis.
Yes, and also as you can see, right, velocity. I mean, basically the speed of us responding to. So that is amazing, actually. So one of the customers was asking for a particular feature. He was expecting weeks, and we gave him within just a couple of hours. And also even internally. So that is externally, right? Internally, so our sales team was like, hey, I need a quoting system. So there are so many different skills now, right? So, and everybody knows SKU management is such a mess in any of the big companies, right? So one of the FDE sit with him, and basically for 2 hours, created with 9 iterations, created a madness prototype, right? And then basically another engineer took that and basically developed a fully functional internal version and deployed to AWS as within 3-4 hours. So within just one day, we created a internal quoting systems for all of the sales. Imagine how happy everybody in the sales organization would be, right? And the best part is that they can also just talk to the system and basically fix problems, add features, and make it better.
Very interesting.
Right.
So basically, the loop is much shorter, right, in order to get things done.
Yeah.
And then you have happier customer from their point of view. They get they see the outcome faster, right?
Yeah.
As a result, they have more smiles. But even for internal engineers or internal people, they actually have less people to chase. They just chase themselves, right?
Yes, right. Yeah.
And this is all possible because of AI.
Yeah, exactly. And also, let me tell you more details, right? So basically, let's just go back to the madness example, right? So basically, the sales guy created this quoting system, right? And he just showed she actually just point this system to invite the engineer into this chatting session, right? And say, this is a system I created. and you can see all of the prompts that I ever given to this Manus, right? So the engineer actually just took all of the prompts and asked cursor. and it created majority of the features already, just like that.
Right.
So as you can see, right, it makes everybody
So the Manus version is not a product yet.
No,
it's
no,
sort of
right.
just a prompt engineering.
Yeah, there's no database.
And then you give to cursor actually become a system.
Right.
That you can run in the more
Yeah,
scalable
you can
fashion.
add all of the basically authentication module, logging module, database, right, and also basically staging.
Right.
All of the enterprise ready features into this prototype. Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is truly AI first. One more question about the AI. So we're talking about the customer engagement. I mean, a lot of this forward deployed engineer concept, I think many of us borrowed this from Palantir model, right?
Yeah.
Palantir model worked in the past because their scale, right? $100 million deal, they can do this, but it's not quite possible for a small startup. Now it's possible because of AI, you can do this sort of the forward deployed engineer. So that's very interesting. And then what about customer support?
The services people is actually also the customer support.
So it's combined.
Right. Yeah. So we try to offer this end-to-end service, right? So basically, one of the challenges traditional SaaS nowadays run into is basically they're just a tool, right? And people could easily get frustrated with any error of the tool. So in my domain, particularly, let's say compliance, right? So if anybody want to get a SOC 2 certificate, they can get a SOC 2 compliance software, SaaS, right? I'm not going to mention their names, but because they're all my partners. But basically, it's not enough. So after you're paying for them, right? So it's like you have to also pay for an auditor. And you have to deal with the auditor, even if the software tells that, hey, you're 100% compliant. And you also have to figure out, basically a pen testing services, and you have to pay. So there are a lot of hidden costs in order to get the full result, which is getting the SOC 2.
Right.
So, but end-to-end service means that, hey, so starting with me, and then you don't have to worry about this, right? So we will take care of everything. So that's a different mindset between the services and the SaaS, right? But previously, this type of services, it couldn't scale. We are trying to see if with AI first, man side, and
you can entertain very custom requirements, right? Tailored requirements for each customer.
Yes, right.
And you're able to even talk to them directly because the PM or the sales engineer is one person. They're able to iterate with them fast. They can do some features only relevant for them, right? In the past, you can only do very small number of such, tailored feature, if any.
Yeah.
Now you can do a lot more, right?
Yes.
So I think what you are saying is the AI has actually made a lot of impossible things possible. By the way, this is the similar theme, we have heard again and again from all the founder CEOs,
I see.
right? What used to be not possible, right? Even last week, right? Sackett.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He said the same thing, raise the bar for the, what's possible.
Yeah.
You want to?
Yeah, so just first, for those of you who are listening right now live, feel free to provide any questions, more than willing to use those. And then personally, I was just wondering, so you've mentioned quite a lot about how AI is being deployed now. And I'm thinking if Kaamel was founded 3.5 years ago, that would be May of 2022, which is prior to the launch of ChatGPT, it's prior to the wave of AI. So what did AI look like at that point? Just to see sort of the comparison, how was it leveraged? You mentioned that right at the start you were using it.
Yeah, so 3.5 years ago, at that time,
Stone Age.
Yeah, the dinosaur age.
Yeah, we're still calling ourselves as SaaSters, right?
A SaaS company.
Yeah, a SaaS company, SaaSters, right? Okay. And then ChatGPT comes out. Everybody was like, okay, seems interesting, but we don't really know, how great it is. And I think there are several things actually for us as the triggering point, which is Previously, we had to say a lot of no's to customer.
Interesting.
If you want this, so probably it's gonna take 3 people, 5 months.
I lived through that for 20-some years, saying no to enterprise
I hate myself
because
for that, right?
it's impossible, right? Especially when you have a lot of customers, it's just not possible.
Right. Yeah. So
Now?
easily, right? So Slack integration, yes, I will do it, right? So Google Docs integration, yes, I will do it. Facial integration, what the hell is that? So it is so basically frustrating for them and also for me myself, right? So I have to say a lot of no's to features, requests, and sadly seeing them not being able to actually see value in my product, right?
Yeah.
But with more and more of this AI-enabled customization, really quick, right? So so that facial integration is just one guy, 2 days. I mean, can you imagine that? Into the production environment, right? So and so I guess and again, so right now I'm not competing against any of the software companies anymore, right? So I'm actually trying to use AI to basically I would say change the way how people see professional services would be performed, right? Yep. So I think the values are, first of all, you do need human eyes to verify the result. AI has been evolving a lot, but still not to the 100% perfection. Imagine a lawsuit, litigation. AI made a hallucination on one of the prior cases, right? So that would be a disaster in front of the judge, right? So human eyes are still required for professional services. Second, human eyes are actually still like charging by hours. We don't charge by hours. We charge by projects. And the third, fast, velocity, right? When customers come to us, when people come to us, they want this done in as quickly as they can because they want to unlock deals with this, right? So you want to wait for 3 months for the Big Four to give you auditor report, or 3 hours, I can give you a full-blown report and also tell you what to do next. And if you want, we can help you to do this.
So on that point, you mentioned it's faster or you can do more, right? But that's of course a repeated theme we hear, and I think that makes sense.
Okay.
But the question I have is, how do you quantify that? Because it might be difficult to measure exactly. So what do you think, if you had to give sort of the ratio, how much better? Is it 10x? Is it 100? Or what is it?
Yes, right. So, so my favorite topic, KPIs, right? Yeah, as a big corporate executive, we've been using KPIs for a while. So it's a runtime response, right? So, basically, when the request is in, how quickly we can respond with a true result, not like acknowledgement, right? So that is definitely like we're talking about from weeks into hours.
Okay.
Right. So very common thing is like that.
Weeks, including lots of meetings.
Yeah, exactly. So scheduling meetings with people, especially with corporate customers, is so difficult.
So now you kind of schedule one meeting. During that meeting, you get a lot of things done in that one meeting.
Right, and basically just show them, hey, this is a system we created. Now we're gonna invite you in, and you can just improve the system as if I were there. Yeah.
So reduce the number back and forth.
Yes, right. Yeah, because they're also part of this creation. That is, kind of like unheard of for a lot of them. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. It's not just collaboration among the people within the company. It's a collaboration between your people and then the clients.
Yes, and
right?
The client, right.
And then they are contributing to the creation of the software. Before they say something through lots of meetings, maybe something sticks, something doesn't. Now they are kind of a part of the iterations.
Right. Yeah, of course. They're actually part of the creation of the prototype.
So once the prototype is in place, you still need to bring back to make that scale to do more things.
Yeah, merge it to the actual backend systems, right? So I wish one day could be, I don't know, that this actually just one unified process, but we're not there yet.
So is that what you think the future would look like? Because we've mentioned how the roles, the lines between them are starting to drop, and you're able to accomplish things maybe faster and at greater magnitude. So, from a future standpoint, what will it look like?
Yeah, so basically, the more customizable a delivery to the customer, the better. I think that is actually a strong belief of everybody in my company now, right? So if we give you a system that you cannot use, really bad, right? If you give a system that you cannot adjust, very bad. If I give you a system that you can create and customize based on your own workflow, that is going to be great. So we're not there yet, and we are just marching to it. Yeah.
So what happened to your employees? Everyone was able to make it, or some people feel like it's very challenging for me to go to the new culture, new way of doing things?
Yeah, so very unfortunately, I think some of the basically professionals, are still like not accepting AI, and they just simply don't want to use it. For those people, I guess they will. I don't know. So basically, I think so they make a good point of you really need human eye. AI cannot just directly deliver things, right? But if internally as a productivity tool, you don't even want to use AI, I guess it's just sooner or later. I guess people will be able to see that.
So now everyone was able to kind of thrive in the new culture, right? That's
yeah. Maybe the pride is in, or maybe they've seen some really bad examples of the previous or other AI tools, right? So I understand that, right? But one day, we're all like that, right? So when the GPT, basically first come out, right? We're like, okay, so I'm not gonna bet my future on it. But so everybody has their own like aha moment. Like, oh my God, this is the one. So I guess that moment will come. It's just,
And what was it for you?
When or what?
What was the inflection point where you realized, wow, this tool is
I think it's basically April time
when GPT-4 was announced.
So basically, agentic.
You mean this April?
Yeah. So this is actually the moment I start to realize because
so
my team has
been
been
this
using
AI first journey recently.
Yes.
So the company has been there for 2.5 years.
3.5 years, yes.
3.5 years, mostly as a SaaS company. Of course, you started adopting AI tools here and there all the time.
Yeah.
You started using Cursor of the World probably before April.
Oh yeah.
Right? How long have you been using?
Basically when we started to use all of the tools, when they're in beta.
So basically for a few years.
Yeah. So
the aha moment that really came recently, in about half a year ago.
Right. Because so the agentic technology and also the GPT-4 and also the MCP stuff, right? So really makes it enterprise ready or startup ready, I would say, right?
Startup ready.
Yeah, startup ready.
So basically at that point, it's like, holy cow, I need to run the company in a very different way.
Right. Yeah.
And then to increase the smiles on the customer, do more things, right? All that kind of things.
Yeah.
So, and then would you say in the last half a years, would you say that, you were able to see the result pretty quickly?
Yes, I actually, I don't know about you, but in my company, so each and every AI tool has their own diehard fan. And it's like, hey, like old days, right? So you're like, hey, Java, and I was like C. So basically, it's really like Cursor versus Dev, or basically Manus versus Lovable, and their healthy debate also help me as the CEO quickly understand all of the differences. So that is one. Second thing is that before doing this org change, I personally practiced all of the roles myself.
Interesting.
I was actually creating a madness prototype with a.
So you did a the forward deployed engineer role.
Right.
You did this mega PM job.
Right, and I talked to I served the customer with a particular project. So all in all, right, and as a CEO, I'm always the sales guy. So basically, I practiced all of the roles with all of the tools.
And then to you, at that point, there's a aha moment. This is obviously a new way of doing things.
Right. And I was able to just glue them all together in a way that works for my company. I think that is also important. A single AI tool. So I would never basically put a lot of weight on a single AI tool. It's not like that. It's basically again that's also an end-to-end thing that require a lot of integrations.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were, in a bigger company, right, managing 1,000 people. Now that, of course, you're not going back to a big company anytime soon. But imagine for a second, the next Monday you show up in your old job.
Okay.
How would you apply what you just discussed, learned in that new job next Monday? I'm curious.
You know what? I wish I could have answers, but no. Mainly because my previous role, I was the international CTO of Didi. That is a consumer facing product. And now I'm doing a SaaS. So basically customer facing stuff.
It's different.
It's totally different. I don't really know if my experience will be applied over there. But internally, I think things will be totally different.
Give me some example you can think of, like you would apply this, to your previous organization. Can you give an example?
Yeah. For example, it's basically the way we collect feedbacks from Brazilians, from basically Japanese drivers and Australian riders. Now we can actually have a system and invite them in to basically just let them draw exactly how they want to integrate, how they want to call for a ride, and when there's a dispute happens, compared to what we have already out there, the workflow, what is the better way they could imagine, and they can just directly develop this prototype, and our product managers without any with all of the language barriers, right? They can still tell the engineers this is the new system we need to build. So for that, we actually created a 100 people organization to just collect feedbacks from people from all over the world.
Wow, so 100 people just to collect the feedback, and now you feel like AI should do that job.
Yeah,
pretty fast.
Probably not removing all of them. They're still there, by the way. So probably more efficient, and with these people we can actually have more operations. So we have like 400 cities, right? It could be like 800 cities still with the same size of the team, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we have someone wondering sort of what is the greatest technical challenge currently with the AI? So perhaps is it the hallucinations, or is it something else?
Yeah. Well, so a lot of problems actually. So one of the things is that I really start to hate this volume-based charging, pricing model, because so if the AI system fall into a false loop, it will quickly deplete everything and ask you to basically, hey, upgrade, and then until you're the ultimate, and still you use up all of the credit. It's difficult to recover, and that is actually so. I think I haven't seen any system, including cloud code and all of the new stuff, that can actually fill the gap between a prototype system and our production system, right? So let's the most ideal thing will be with the prototype, we can just say merge this into, right? So merge the system with all of the code into the with vibe coding, but that is definitely not there, right? Yeah. So basically, the dead loop infinite dead loop is actually when it comes to development AI tools.
You're mostly talking about that's caused by cursor.
Cursor, this Manus, Lovable, all of this.
All have the similar thing.
Yeah, all have the similar thing. And the cursor, and actually cursor is a lot better. Their credit system is not that aggressive, but Lovable and Manus, they're just so aggressive on their credit. So one dead loop will just use up all of my credit. Right.
Yeah, so I'm curious, just in general, now that we always talk about AI, it's certainly a transformative period.
Right.
And we talk about how it applies to a startup or a corporate position. But what about for the younger generation? Let's say me, for example. I happen to be a high school student. I'm maybe thinking about a higher education. How should I be thinking about AI in the next period? Do you have any advice?
His question is, should he skip college? Not just kidding.
Yeah, that's the short version.
Recently, there's a Harvard paper. They actually studied all of the LinkedIn job posts. And then suddenly they discovered a fact that basically junior level position dropped. Like a cliff, jumping. Ever since 2003
Yeah, there are a few lines.
January,
Yeah, there are a few lines like senior guys, mid-level, junior, and then for many years the three lines are identical trajectory. Until about in the last 2-3 years, junior lines go this way, and then the other two lines still go up.
Right. Yeah. So I guess
that's after polling the data from millions of jobs on LinkedIn.
Yes. So that is actually, I guess a lot of people had that worry, right? But now with these numbers, it seems like a trend. So my advice, actually, if not really advice, if I were young again, I would definitely wholeheartedly embrace AI. So without any doubt, without any question. I still remember when I graduated at that time, so internet was just booming, and there's similar things, right? So people who basically embraced internet or software development at that time definitely had a much better chance of getting more exposure to the wonderful world, I would say. Yeah, because that is the trend.
School? Still going to school?
There's actually a point made in that paper.
Trying to find a limited job first.
So you remember that paper. So that paper actually point out some really inconvenient facts. So they listed 5 different grades of universities. Basically tier 1 is all of the Ivy Leagues and the equivalent.
Stanford.
Maybe Stanford is part of it. I'm just kidding.
Stanford's at the top of it, you mean? Yeah.
Tier 2 is basically international acclaimed schools. Tier 3 is a national acclaimed schools in US. And tier 4 is the regional acclaimed schools. Number 5 is probably maybe community college or anyways, right? So they actually listed all of these schools, and basically, if I recall correctly, they said so tier 5 and the tier 1 are the ones get less affected.
Okay, Stanford is still good.
Stanford tier 0. Tier
1, yeah. So there's no tier 0. And by the way, so they actually created a prompt and let ChatGPT to rate the schools.
Wow.
So, right.
On the serious note, Axel is, wanting to, whether Stanford or not, he wanted to go to, go to college, go to the top schools. For sure.
But I'll have to keep that in mind, 2, 3, maybe not, 4, maybe not, but 5 and 1 is an option.
Yeah.
So that's your advice to the younger generation, I guess. Still, embrace AI. If you are, get to the, good school, still, matters, right? You get a network. So one of my friends, Kyle Foster, co-founder of Big Switch, right?
Yeah.
He actually wrote up an article on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. He said, well, I got my wife, from school, right? I got my mentor from school. I got my future investors from, my school
why
network,
not, right?
So school is still very important, the network, everything, right?
Yeah. In the foreseeable future, right? So, communication, network, and basically a great interface, dealing with people, getting things done, that is actually something I don't think AI can replace. And maybe never will. I don't know. I mean, with the
You still need a CEO.
you still need somebody with empathy, right? And being able to understand all of the different pain points and needs, and create solutions that can solve them. The backbone could be AI driven, but that whole thing, end-to-end thing, is always going to have a room for good people, I would say. Yeah.
Would you say that the productivity, the number of people you need, to fulfill the same kind of the work you're able to do today without AI, would it be what, 2x, 4x?
Yeah, at least, right? So,
at least 2x,
yeah,
4x.
Yeah, at least 2x, right?
And then you are able to reap a majority of that benefit in the last half a year. Mm-hmm. Before that, you used the AI tool, but now reaping, nearly the full benefit.
Right, until they're organically organized and tailored to my business, to my type of customers, and to the things that we are trying to do.
So basically, you have a workflow, internal workflow that's AI native.
Right.
That's very, very tailored to what you want to accomplish with your customer, with the service you want to deliver.
Yeah.
That's really the key.
Yeah. So blindly saying that we're gonna embrace AI, an executive comes down in all hands and say tomorrow we are all AI. That is probably not gonna work out, blindly, right? So you need to really, get in the jungle, clear up all of the weeds, and create a organic, customized AI workflow for your organization. I guess that's basically how I figure it out myself.
Yeah, I mean, basically it comes down to you basically broke up the organization, rethink about how the organization should be run in the AI native world. Yes. And then you put the people around it, and some people are able to survive and thrive, and then some other people may not. Yeah. But the net after doing all of that is actually, 2x, 4x of the gain after after this transformation.
Yeah, exactly. And team is happy, and the customers are happy. So
wow.
We're
okay.
Good. Yeah.
So when we had spoken to Siki Chen, which is the CEO of Runway, and also the founder of Hey Boss, we also spoke to an Emmy Award director, and they also said a similar idea where you kind of have to focus on the more human traits. You mentioned being a kind person. I'd love to double click on this. What does that really mean to you?
So first of all, I think empathy is actually a must-have for all of the startup people. That's for sure. Maybe for everyone that'll be great, but at least me as a startup CEO, co-founder, empathy is the most important thing. And second thing is there will be a lot of pressure from let's say your investor, your customer, your team members. Each of them have their own goals and motivation, right? And eventually the only thing that actually would so we still need a North Star to guide us, right? So basically I can say, hey, I have a mission, but even the mission of the great companies keep changing, right? So I think the most important thing is basically I want to serve my customers, right? And so if the customers are asking for this, not just one, but all of them are asking for something, I need to figure out a way to basically solve their problems, right? So I guess that is the trait of a good startup founder, right? Maybe they started as writing a game, a group of people, And then they figure out, so the tool they developed for the in-game communication is actually what the people want. So they created Slack, right? So that type of change, people. So coming back, people can say, hey, that is obviously, a IM for enterprise is a much bigger market. That is a great move and great change, of course, and things like that. But as a startup founder, you just need to continuously change, evolve, and then how can you make sure you don't get lost in all of these changes, in all of these pushes, right? I think that is the North Star.
Okay, so you're basically saying you really need the empathy to understand the customer.
Right.
Then you need to understand that also there's the pressure of different perspectives, and then being fluid to adapt.
Yeah, my North Star is I'm solving their problems.
Okay.
I think that's very important. That my major takeaway from this conversation is that you are not even trying to do AI first for the sake of it. You start with what is the customer problem, right? Like you said, right? You are not able to meet a lot of their needs. That's that's your pinpoint. That's their pinpoint, right? There's a long list, a long tail of things you were not able to do. But now in the AI first, you are able to rethink, right? Reimagine what's possible, right? We talk about raise the what's possible, right? You are basically saying, well, with AI, I'm able to meet all of their requests or most of their requests, which is not even part of the conversation, right? Which is not even part of your imagination. Now it's part of your imagination. Now you design an organization, design a team in a way to make this happen. Right?
Yes,
That's the gist of it. It's not like you wake up one day, I have to do AI first. You wake up one day feeling that with AI, you're able to solve a lot of the problems you were not able to solve in the past.
Yes, right, exactly. So AI first organization is actually the result of it.
It's a result of it, right? It's just a new tool, new technology, allow us to reimagine.
Yes.
And then that's, if another thing for the new generation to hear is, you are lucky, right? You don't have to live, you don't have to, even worry about the constraints, in the past. This is all native to you, right? So your seeding is AI native generation. Your seeding is like sky high to begin with. Unlike, Zheng and I lived through the ages that, I don't know, I think it's easy to say that for enterprise software, 70% of the feature requests are never, went to engineer side, right? Roughly that's true.
Yeah, majority of the features that I ever developed probably never got used by majority of the
And then most of the features are not used by the users. And then most of the requirements never came to engineers. It's sort of a, good that, you don't have to live through that era.
Well, I'm sure you guys have plenty of wisdom. I don't, but I look forward to the future. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's been a great conversation today. If you have any further questions, maybe we can throw in one to end it. And of course, we'll be back Friday with another guest. We're really thankful to have you here. Yeah. So one last thing. In terms of the progression, right, 3.5 years, what would be the insights you wish you could have applied earlier, right, for someone that maybe would wish to do something similar as you do? Like if you began again today?
So the insight will be, maybe this is a little bit, abstract, but the real insight would be if somebody could have told me, like, you gotta unlearn. What you feel like a Bible, like, okay, so service is bad, SaaS is the only way to do enterprise software, so I guess, there are a lot of, but, basically it's very interesting to see that how I struggled all my way into this stage, because at the very beginning, I see all of these different requests from the customers, right? So apparently software couldn't meet all of their requirement at an early stage, right? So customization is the only way, right? But the firm belief of no services, only software, really hold me back for a long time.
In your blood.
Exactly. And I keep, in all hands, I keep telling my team members, right? So even if you are doing some customization, you're actually, collecting more feedbacks for our engineering team to build a, almighty universal software in the future. So, but over time, when the AI, is in full action here, I start to realize if we could have a product that actually could deliver end-to-end services result to the customer, that is gonna, that is actually what they want. So they don't want any hidden costs. They don't want to say, hey, I only solve 50% of your problem. For the other 50%, you need to find some other tools. So yeah, so basically being able to, break the boundary, unlearn the old trades, and just keep the customers, like basically solving customers' problems as the North Star. I think that would be the one. That I learned now.
So as a closing comment, I'll just to give one concrete example I just ran into this week, because I was talking to a VP of a pretty big, software company. So her organization is going through AI first transformation, and she told me that half of her organization actually going through changes pretty fast. It just happens that, because of the nature of that organization, the kind of the work, it's a very young organization. So they were able to adapt very quickly. The other sort of half of the organization, because of the nature, there are a lot more senior people or whatnot, right? So it's slower, to say the least, right? So, from that point of view, I do firmly believe that, because we were talking about, hey, the job opportunities for the younger generation, at least for the time being on LinkedIn, which is true, is less. But I do believe that the next 10 years overall, younger generation is at has its own, they have their own advantages, because they are not kind of, constrained by what you and I had in blood, right? It's not in their blood, so for them it's adapted very quickly. So I thought that was a very interesting, that was this is we're not talking about onesie, twosie. She's talking about 300 people organization.
Right. Yeah.
They just happen because of the nature of that organization, or the nature of the work they do. It's like a new college grad kind of. So they were able to adapt much faster, much easier. So that's a very interesting data point.
Agreed.
So
By the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, so there's a very interesting observation and a learning I want to share with you. So as a startup CEO, you actually need a lot of mentors. Right. So, I'm fortunate to have Howie as one of my mentors, but also we help each other, right?
Yes.
So basically, I have a lot of senior mentors. That's actually the common practice, right? I always find people who's more senior, more experienced than me on a particular thing, right? But actually, all of this, so I'm saying this because, you asked that question, right? So the actual unlearning process happened to me when I learned from somebody much younger than me. Like all of the AI startup founders, I was, fortunate to actually have them as my customer. Because, startups, right? So basically it's the CEO signing the contract. So we became friends, we help each other. It's actually by learning, by talking to them. They feel like, they got mentorship from me, but actually I got as much mentorship from them. The way they think about AI, the way they run their organizations, it's just simply amazing. So I guess, so that's another thing which is also like,
so
echoing your observation,
so
right?
So the takeaway is what's in your blood, right? To unlearn that is not easy. Sometimes you do have to unlearn what's already in your blood. Now, of course, early, at the beginning of the show, you said that the security, privacy in your blood, still keep that.
Okay.
For that reason, still use
Go
Neo browser. Go Neo.
Right.
Okay. We are done for today. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks for having me. It's
Have
my
a
great
great
pleasure.
one. Yeah, it's been a
bye-bye.
pleasure. Awesome.